And so when you talk about the hypervigilance, right, what we're suggesting is that there's an escalation that raise it. There's like a hyperactivity in the basolateral amygdala that ends up spiraling and basically radiating out. And so people talk about like you relapsed way before you picked up, right? And we believe it's true. And we can point to anecdotally, and there's probably studies on it that say like, yeah, there's some type of mental trigger. It might be conscious, it might be subconscious, whatever, but you end up in this process where by the time using is a viable option, relapse prevention, coping skills, box breathing, all this stuff, all that shit's out the window. And I'm doing whatever it takes to quiet my brain.
Yes.
And so how do we address that, right? There is no addressing the person who it's already a viable option. They're going to go use. Unless you circle the wagons and like lock them in a room, they're probably going to go use, right? There is a burnout that will happen where if it is a viable option and they literally sit on their hands for long enough, it subsides, right? But how often are we around these people? Because it's self-reporting anyway. How often are we around these people? How often are they calling their sponsor? How often are they doing these things? They're not, right? So what we're saying is, let's deconstruct the process and figure out whatever it is, the initial set off of the trauma, the fear response, whatever it is, whatever that thing is, let's address that. So now we're looking at, we're literally calling it relapse prediction, right? And so, and this doesn't have anything to do with the guy that's already in such a hyper arousal state that using is a viable option. It is the person that is completely unaware that they've been re-traumatized or reactivated. That's where that we need to address it right there, because you can interrupt that process early enough to where you completely reverse whatever's going on. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Shah, he's a doctor, right? And he's got a medication intervention and then he's got a practical intervention, and we're marrying the two together and saying, look, if you, and we've got a bunch of tracking processes. So like all the clients will be, they're using a mood meter every day. And anytime you see some kind of escalation for 3 or more days, call us.
Right.
Right. Because if you have an escalation for one day and then you're good the next day, you're just a normal human. Right. But if an addict has an escalation that lasts for 3+ days, you're on that track.
Yep.
And so the dangers of relapsing today, right? December 17th, what's the 17th of 2025, are way different. Like what that implies is way different than 5 years ago. If you relapse today after 3 months of sobriety, the likelihood of you overdosing and dying is way higher than it's ever been. And so we are in the process of developing and implementing all of these models and studies and stuff. So.
Nice.